Everybody, Christopher Titus. Guess what? No podcast this week. We have to restock the bunker. So, these are the last 8 weeks of me ranting and raving. I hope you guys enjoy it. And thanks to Bombshell and the Highlander for their amazing work on it. See you guys next week.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Lockdown week 6. And today I need you to put on your tinfoil hats because it's about to get weird. Now, I've heard a lot of conspiracies about the 19, that the 19 was caused by China and their new 5G cell phone network. So you get unlimited minutes, better coverage, and you get to meet Jesus. Or it was caused by a bat, which means this Halloween I can't make my bat lasagna. Damn it! On top of that, if 5G is so awesome, why did 21 million Chinese cancel their cell phones between January and March? They either died or are waiting for the new iPhone 12 with X-ray vision. So, if this killed 21 million in China, wash your damn hands. So, if it killed that many in China, why aren't we pulling out all the stops and ordering PPE and making ventilators to fight this COVID Nazi? Because Trump and Putin are working together. Tinfoil hat, huh? The only way to figure out why something happens is to see who wins, and you can look it up that Trump started doing business with Russia in 1987. Ha! He has also visited Russia almost as much as he golfs. Last February. Trump has 30 years of ties to Russia. He had actually promised Putin a $50 million apartment at the Trump Tower Russia they were building. He's hung out with Putin more than he's hung out with Barron, and he hugs Putin more than Barron. Barron, we're sorry and we're here for you. So, if Trump is working for Putin, it totally makes sense that he wouldn't help the states, and it would also explain why, after telling the states to stuff it, he would send ventilators to, So, either Trump is a Russian asset or a moron, or maybe he's a Russian asset moron. Now, we have North Korean leader Kim Jong-un supposedly dying. And if that's the case, then China may try to invade Korea, or Kim's sister may drop a nuke on China. Or maybe they'll start an annual Chinese/North Korean sworn enemies family mixture. On top of that, this week, oil prices dropped to zero between Saudi and Russia. Well, that's their only source of income. And the one thing I know is that when people have no money or hope, they are always calm and measured and deal with things rationally. On top of that, the stock market is holding at a solid 23,000. So the good news is at least hedge fund managers, stockbrokers, and billionaires are going to get through this okay. The reality is, people with money wish that all of us weren't here. Not all of us, though. They need enough of us to pull the levers, load and drive the trucks, make the food, clean their houses, and give them foot massages. But the rest of us, hey, go back to work. This virus is a hoax. If you read the Georgia Guidestones, they actually make sense. It's a great idea. A planet with only 500 million people on it, that's a good idea. Except for the 7.5 billion that need to die first. The good news is that the strong will survive because the rich people need somebody to bury all the bodies. So who is responsible for all this? What conspiracy do we believe? I mean, if you look around, the air is clean. Oil isn't being used. Wildlife is getting froggy. They're all over the place. Meat plants are closing. Rivers are clean. And we all realize that a clean, pollution-free world is better for all of us. So who could possibly be the diabolical, evil genius mastermind responsible for this current Armageddon we are all suffering through? Elon Musk. Shh. I'm Christopher Titus. And this is the Armageddon Update. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. You know what? Let's open up the country, bro. We hit the peak. I'm so in. Let's go to the beach. Touch all the surfaces. Pick your nose and eat it, boys, because the COVID is over. Ha ha! You know, it's good to see the people with the courage in Michigan try to fight a microscopic disease with bullets. These guys weaponed up to fight the 19 because ain't no virus going to beat an AR-15. And I want you guys to know something. Bullets are not a vaccine except against human beings and women letting you sleep with them. Listen, this is not the flu, people. And to all you Einsteins out there who think it's going to be like the flu, you know, like you're going to sleep for days, get down to your high school weight, you know, without working out because all that high intensity puking, then you're going to feel like $1 million. Well, I want you to know something. The 19 ain't it. Here's what we're finding out. Now, flu kills between 30 and 60,000 in America in 18 months. The 19 has killed 65,000 in 8 weeks, 40,000 in the last 2 weeks. So let's say we open up the country from strip clubs to go-kart tracks. And by this time next year, they estimate over 700,000 deaths. And like you, I think, you know what? Well, that's like 1% of the population, not even. Okay, as long as it's not me or anybody I know, we're good. Other estimates say that if we open nightclubs and comedy clubs, malls, and everything else, we kill 1.5 million in a year. So you pick a relative or two and let them know that you're going to the club to live your life, and then give them a discount coffin coupon. Research shows a person with the flu infects on average about 1.28 other people. That's 1.28 people. So that is you, your significant other maybe, and a small dog. No big deal. You know, you're going to have the flu, you're going to eat soup, maybe whine a little bit, and then go clean up your dog's diarrhea. That's all that's going to happen with the flu. On the other hand, if you have the 19, everyone who gets it infects 3 people, so more than double. Still not earth-shaking, you know. And why the hell are we locked down? Look at my hair. Well, first of all, screw you. You see that? And second of all, because the 19 will take you out brutally. Not everyone, but the kill rate worldwide, if you get it, is around 7.3%, give or take. Currently in the U.S., it's around 5.7%. If you get it, so, hey, look it, roll the dice, right? You either get really sick or die. We'll call it the Wuhan roulette.
Wanna play?
That being said, here's what happens if you get it and it goes bad. Now, some people are getting intubated for 2 weeks, and when they come out of it, they have brain damage. Look it up. If your body reacts to it and it cranks up your immune system the wrong way, it can fill your lungs with snot quick, and you drown in what they call a cytokine storm. Look it up. Also, if you really get lucky gambling with your life and you think, I'm young, bro, COVID ain't getting me, man, they're finding that 19 will cause blood clots and is causing strokes in young people. Look it up. So go ahead, bro. Hit the beach. Hit the club. Hang with your boys. Maybe it'll work out. And for those of you that say, I don't care, I need to get back to work, my life is falling apart, I need money, to that I say, you can fix broke. You can't fix dead. Look it up. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hi, puppy. Did you like that one? Say something.
Look it up.
I'm Rachel Bradley, and this is the Armageddon Update. And this is a time of truth, a time of revelation, a time of brutal honesty. And I'm not talking about a global pandemic. I'm talking about the work it takes to make your woman look like Super Bowl J-Lo instead of Reservoir Dogs Steve Buscemi. Because underneath, gentlemen, we're all Steve Buscemi. And what you once thought was your pretty, pretty princess, after 2 weeks of quarantine, has turned into your sturdy, handsome Amish lumberjack with cheese dust fingers who is doctor shopping bottles of vodka from delivery services due to the 1-bottle limit. Week 1, the lash extensions started growing out, and so my peripheral vision kept seeing shadows that looked like ghosts. Every time I started talking, they would bounce up and down. It's gotten so bad, people, I'm being heckled by my own face. Seriously, my lashes look like tarantulas were running a train on my forehead. So, I switched to strip lashes, and adjusted day drinking to include 6 a.m. to noon because that's nighttime in China. I have the Chinese drinking virus. Wuhan! By week 2, I had 3 remaining nails soldiering on from my last gel manicure. Of course, the middle fingers went first. Overuse. I decided I wouldn't cry anymore, and I bought my own polish and my own UV lamp. I just want to say to Ming Bai and Sun Qin Li, I miss you, and I get it now. But because of daylight savings drinking time, spring forward, toss a shot back, my hands were shaky, so I ended up painting the entire end of my fingers and calling it a day. I also can't get Botox, which hid my naturally resting bitch face, thanks Mom. Before? Now? Week 3, I'm having happy hour on House Party with friends, and they all have a skunk stripe down the middle of their heads. They can't even buy the bottle dye because we're not allowed to leave our homes. And besides, we've all lost the will to live. And we're all in stretchy pants because thanks to COVID, we all dress like the morbidly obese rascal writing lady at Walmart who's buying the Inquirer and off-brand cheese puffs. Cheese puffs. I tried to put on jeans this week. They were so tight I could feel my heartbeat in my own head. And because I'm a Native American, I could feel the alcohol delivery driver in my feet. Oh, Tito's gluten-free. It's being delivered. I must get mixers and go now. So, here we are, week 4, and I've adjusted. No lashes, crackhead nails, and I can't get rid of my baby weight. And I never had a baby. Well, except for the husband I'm locked in the house with. So, I'll be fine, as long as I never have to leave my house again. Because I'm starting to like this. I see you, flannel lesbians in Portland. And, to be clear, it's not that I'm refusing to cut my toenails. The apocalypse is coming, and I'm growing swords. I'm Rachel Bradley, and this is the Armageddon Update.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. You know when things go foobar, apocalyptic, sideways, or my favorite, cluster Trump, you got to take stock of what happened and try to figure it out. Now, we have found out over the last 2 months, our president has put 100% effort and used all his will to make sure that he did absolutely nothing about this pandemic.
And this is their new hoax.
It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
In a whistleblower complaint, we found out this week that the cluster Trump administration didn't want to do anything to stop the 19 by normal means. And they didn't want to use scientists, no. Instead, they wanted to use industry insiders from the drug companies to push their drugs, like this one.
Hydroxychloroquine.
The complaint was brought by Rick Bright, a high-ranking federal scientist focused on vaccine development and a deputy assistant secretary with the Department of Health and Human Services, which is really a bitch to put on a name tag. Dr. Bright wanted the administration to get ready and also use known and proven technologies. You know like when you put gasoline in your car, right? But if you put the cranberry juice lobby in charge of fuel, your car won't run, but your Dodge Ram won't have a urinary tract infection. There's an upside. Dr. Bright did his job. So, of course, like everyone who does the right thing for the American people, he was fired after the president was pushing a drug that was found to be dangerous.
Or hydroxychloroquine.
Now, hydrochloroquine isn't dangerous for some things. In fact, it's an antiviral that treats malaria, and it works. But in the case of COVID-19, it has a potential toxicity and could cause a side effect called sudden death. Now, isn't that the final side effect?
Ask your doctor about hydroxychloroquine. Side effects include death, dying, ceasing to exist, seeing the light, immediate death, and sudden death. Talk to your doctor about hydroxychloroquine.
Dr. Bright pointed to the political pressure to rush these drugs from Pakistan and India to American households. So he was removed from his job within days of publication of an article about hydrochloroquine because they suspected he was the article's source. Now, in the past, America, when you were informing people about government corruption, you were seen as a patriot and a person of integrity. But no longer. We used to live by the axiom of Buckminster Fuller. Integrity is the essence of everything successful. Since Trump, we've gone to the quotes of John Gotti. Hey, snitches get stitches. So Dr. Bright was doing his job. I mean, Health and Human Services, come on. He demanded that the government use safe and scientifically vetted solutions to stop COVID. You know, like the Obama administration did to stop Ebola and H1N1. But in this administration, the phrase safe and scientific come somewhere far after.
No, I don't take responsibility at all. We're not a shipping clerk. And then I see the disinfectant. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection?
I take no responsibility whatsoever. We are not a delivery service, and why don't we try injecting you with disinfectant? And to be clear, we are in a deadly global pandemic because one man who was told by the best intelligence service in the world that this virus was coming, and he was told in November 12 times, 30 million are out of work, 75,000 are dead because one man couldn't miss his 8 a.m. tea time. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. I actually would like to go golfing, to be honest. I'm Christopher Titus, and this today is the Armageddon Update. And this one goes out to the experts, the people who really have the world figured out, the ones who know that the chemtrails are causing crop failure and homosexuality, and that the cell towers are making sperm have to form support groups in the testicles so they can get their confidence back. You get that we are living in a time where every conspiracy has come true, to the point that your dumb QAnon made-up conspiracy about aliens watching the planet and flying around, cutting the lips off of cows and probing the anuses of Trump supporters is not only true, but compared to what is actually happening, is boring as shit. Conspiracies are by definition something there is no evidence for. Now, I used to dig them personally. I used to think about the FEMA camps that had coffins stacked up, and now I have pictures of coffins stacked up. I believe Area 51 is run by the Greys to protect us from the blue aliens, but it turns out it's not true. It's actually worse. Now, you morons are talking about Obamagate? So Sweet Potato Hitler came up with a name without a crime.
Obamagate.
Obamagate?
It's been going on for a long time.
It has?
It's been going on from before I even got elected.
Before you got elected?
And
No
it's
way.
a disgrace that it happened. And
What?
if you look at what's gone on, and if you look at now all
What's
of
going
this
on?
information that's being released.
What information being
and
released?
From what I understand, that's only the beginning.
It's the only beginning.
Terrible
Tell
things
us.
happened, and it should never be allowed to happen in our country
It shouldn't
again.
be. What is it?
And you'll be seeing what's going on over the coming weeks. But I wish
The
you'd
coming
write
weeks? Why not
honestly
tell us
about
now?
it. But unfortunately,
Wait.
you choose not to do so. Yeah, John, please.
Crime. What is the crime exactly that you're accusing him of?
You know what the crime
Yeah,
is.
what
The
is the
crime
crime?
is very obvious to everybody. All
The
you
crime
have
is
to do
obvious to
read the
everybody? What?
newspapers, except yours. John, please.
His
Crime.
newspaper?
What is the
What?
crime
What?
exactly that you're accusing him of?
You know what the crime is. The crime is very obvious to everybody. All you have to do is read the newspapers, except yours.
Oh, come on. You do know that Watergate was named after the Watergate Hotel. There is no gate about Obama. Idiots. And now, there was a conspiracy that was pushed by Republicans for years. I remember it. That a Democrat would come in and make himself king. He'd take over the country, install his people, kill democracy, and steal billions. But instead, a Republican came in, installed his children, who yesterday, Jared, I am not a robot, Kushner, said he didn't know if the election would go forward. Really, Jared? What gave you that idea? Trump gave the rich billions in tax cut and currently got rid of all the oversight on another $500 billion stimulus.
I mean, this is a great
The fund is about the lack of oversight. Our Treasury having this unilateral authority to dole out all of this money.
Look, I'll be the oversight. I'll be the oversight.
Yeah, I'm sure the Trump administration will give it to all his voters, supporters, and not to his shell companies that got set up 4 days before the vote. There was another conspiracy, too, that the Democrats in the government were going to unleash a superbug, a virus that would kill huge numbers of America so we could get our population down to a sustainable level. Socialism. It would kill the weak and the sick, the poor and the minorities, and we had to keep buying guns to stop them damn Democrats from taking over America. Second Amendment. Well, currently, we're going to hit 100,000 dead in the U.S. because of a virus the Republican president refuses to stop. He won't do what works worldwide: testing, tracing, isolating. That's it. However, they will do all of that when this hoax virus hits the White House. All the conspiracies you dumb-ass QAnon conspiracy creators made up about the Democrats are true, except they were committed by Republicans. Aliens are real. We have the video. The government admitted it. They have technology far beyond anything we know. A virus did get loose and is killing a big portion of the world. And the powers that be are trying to kill us so Ruby Tuesdays can keep selling their Cajun firecracker shrimp poppers. Our president has his kids in office. He is working for a Russian dictator, and that was proven and backed up by the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee. His children are running the country, and he put other people's kids in FEMA camps. And all the while this is going on, you conspiracy geniuses who warned us that it would happen didn't rise up. Instead, you bought toilet paper. So, every conspiracy that was pushed forward by the Walmart Frequent Rascal Miles Club has been proven true by the dude they voted for.
I would give myself an A+.
MAGA. And don't lose hope, people, because I'm sure this will all be resolved after the election by President Bigfoot. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Honestly, I think President Bigfoot would do a better job. I'm Christopher Titus, and And this is the Armageddon Update. How you guys doing? Everything okay? Now, due to COVID and the toilet paper panic buying, I'm sure you all have your ass touching porcelain right now, pants around your ankles, contemplating mortality. Or you're freaking out that the relationship you've been locked inside with for 10 weeks won't give you 5 damn minutes for yourself to read Twitter while you evacuate your colon. I'm in here. Did your relationship get worse or better during this pandemic? Did you realize that you're with your best friend or plan where to bury their body? Did you realize you're with an apocalypse prepping psycho and have been forced to get ready to kill or be killed? Or a moron who had the chance to buy bleach wipes and instead purchased a neck pillow for plane travel? Where the hell are we going? For me, I realized I was locked down and quarantined with my best friend, my buddy, my compadre, a person who at the very least can tolerate me for long periods of time. The one person who knows that maybe I like eating Captain Crunch out of a coffee mug and doesn't care as long as I toss them a COVID virus-looking crunch berry once in a while. And then we giggle as we devour the virus and its sweet crackling goodness. Yes, we've been locked down that long. She is my great love, a person who in the face of losing all my work, made sure I didn't become a raging alcoholic, and instead calmed me by making us watch cartoon movies on Disney+. Yeah, you want to feel better about everything, people? Go watch WALL-E. Yeah, my God, that movie is Pixar Prozac, and may have stopped a rash of domestic violence outbreaks. And to those who realize they made the right choice in their relationship, congrats. This pandemic was a relationship test unmatched, an emotional cage match in the octagon of love, and we came out victorious! But to those who realize that the way she flips her hair on her stupid sweatpants she hasn't changed for 2 months makes you want to stab yourself in the eye with a Makita 3/4-inch drill, and those who realize that the hair on his toes is pretty much a deal breaker now, and that you'd rather be alone for the rest of your life than spend another minute with this monkey-footed biped. That if you get asked for what's for dinner one more time, you will eat his liver with a side of fava beans because that's all you have left in the pantry. Sorry. Disasters often clear up your thinking. So if you realize that you made a relationship mistake, then end it. Then you got to go out and hit the nightclub, stay 6 feet away with your mask on while you date, have a 21-day quarantine, then you can finally get naked together and start the nightmare all over again. See you in November. Now today, I am sure I married my best friend, my ride or die, someone that will kill for me. And together we will bury the body. And then for the rest of our relationship, crack little jokes about it. Hey, babe, you see my keys? Hey, did you check the shallow grave that we dug? And we will giggle as we drink our Captain Crunch. Thank you, COVID-19, for teaching me about death, destruction, financial ruin, and the possibility of drowning in my own snot. But COVID-19, you also taught me about true love. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. What you... That wasn't about you. Okay. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And today, I want to talk to black people. And as a white guy, it makes me very nervous to even say black people. I'm going to go with the Shakespearean people of color. Yes. Which still makes you people of color sound like a pack of Skittles, which, when you're black, is seen as you're carrying a deadly weapon. He's got candy, boys, take him down. Or he's got a cell phone, shoot him. Or a sandwich. He's going for his wallet, kill him quick. He's selling loose cigarettes. Oh my God, we're being overrun. He's got homemade rap CDs. We got to kill this man. He's jogging. Hunt him down. Now, I'd love to say today's update is to show that during a time of severe turmoil and death, we came together and treated all people the same, but...
Go back to wherever the you come from, lady. Y'all think you... Hey, tell them to go back where they belong.
Ever. Get out of here. No, I'm not going to get out of here. No. No, I'm not. Because this is my country. Yes, this is my country. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
It's illegal to have a charcoal grill in the park here.
No, it's not actually. I just looked at the map. It says this is a designated barbecue area.
No, not for a charcoal grill. No charcoal grills are allowed.
And they are actually people that I've never seen here before, but they are African American.
It seems That racism is back, baby, and it's louder than ever in America. Now I hear there is no racism a lot. Well, a couple of years ago when we had a black president, racism was still rocking to #1 with a bullet. Now you answer me this. You ever see a white person lying in the street with a kneecap of a cop across their throat, huh? You ever hear about 2 cops or a failed security guard shooting a white guy armed with an iPhone and a hoodie for selling Lucy's? Yeah, me either. So why? Why are black men still dying by cop? Why is that still a thing? Well, I have a theory. When Clinton was president, he played the saxophone, and thousands of parents got their kids saxophone lessons and earplugs. Now, when Bush would always go to his ranch, he dressed as a cowboy. And people saw that, and they thought, hey, let's make a movie called Brokeback Mountain. Now, when Obama got a Portuguese water dog, we all said, whoa, the fuck is a Portuguese water dog? And yet, we all got one. That's right. Trump is a racist. That's why it's going on. The one thing, though, is he at least hates all non-white people equally. Because of his disgust at any color darker than gold or burnt umber, our leader has unleashed the inner hate kraken that was hiding in the soul of every meth-addicted, jobless, dumbass American cracker. The 4 cops involved with the killing of George Floyd were fired, but they weren't arrested. They murdered a man on camera, and they lost their jobs. George Floyd lost his life. The woman that called the police because a man asked her to leash her dog, she made a false police call, a hate crime, and she didn't get arrested. She got trashed on Twitter, which I agree is worse. I mean, to get famous because you're an asshole? Well, that's how I did it.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to me.
And I'm taking pictures and calling the cops.
Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
There is an African-American man. I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. I'm being threatened by a man in the ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
This is 9 levels of racism because she was aware the man just asked her to leash the dog. So instead of doing the human thing and following the rules, she called the cops. And then she didn't say, hey, there's a man harassing me. She said, there's a black man in a bicycle helmet harassing me. Like she was the wife of a plantation owner, she thought that letting the black man know that cops were coming would be enough to make him stop hassling her. I mean, of course he should leave her alone, right? She's a white woman. He's a black man. She basically just said, hey, bite me. The rules don't apply to my lily white dog choking ass. And how scary is adding in bicycle helmet? I mean, she thought he was going to run away because all black people know they're going to get hassled, you know? And they have just folded that into their life, like brushing your teeth, you know? And I can't imagine what it must be like to walk out of your house every day and instantly be suspect just because of the color of your skin. It would piss me off. I might walk around with a chip on my shoulder, and when my rights are being violated just because I was a person of color, I may have an attitude about it. And in America, I might die in the street with my neck literally being stepped on. But I'll never know what that's like. It's sad to me that white privilege means because of my color, I can scream into the face of authority and not get shot to death. And that if I was a person of color, I couldn't even reach for my ID without getting murdered.
Sir, I have to tell you, I do have a firearm on me.
Don't reach for it then. Don't pull it out.
Don't pull it out.
Don't pull it out! Don't move! Don't move! Don't move!
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Cops. To protect and to serve. Well, let's see where this Armageddon Update goes. Now, in the last week, we have had some shite break off in America after the full-out murder of George Floyd by 4 cops for passing a counterfeit $20 bill. Now, America as a group, white, black, Asian, Native American, even some pygmies, have finally hit the end of the rope, and we have decided to hang some racists with that rope. Now, the last 7 days, we have learned that America is a police state, where freedom is just something you read on a greeting card and not reality. Our president, I call him Sweet Potato Hitler, did nothing, again, as the murder of George Floyd ignited a firestorm of rioting and protest, not seen since the Star Wars prequels were released. And our president, who lost by 3 million votes, by the way, did nothing except hide in the White House, or as I call it, Fort Chicken Shit, in the Lincoln bedroom pillow fort while real Americans stood up for liberty and justice. What has happened in America? I mean, the cops in our country used to be people we could depend on. I mean, especially if you were white. Sorry, that's my authentic white guilt spewing out of me. And maybe I was just younger and stupider when I believed that. But God, I have never seen our police be such raging a-holes and do it with such joy. And I think I know why. Cameras.
Get the fuck on! Get the fuck on, you man!
That's why we're seeing it, because every single one of us now has a phone that takes pictures or gathers evidence of horrific behavior of people that are sworn to protect us. And we pay them, and they pepper spray us, run us over, hit us with clubs, shoot us with rubber bullets, real bullets, and threaten to, quote, fuck us up.
Sir, what's going to happen is they're going to start beating the fuck out of you.
Now, I get being a cop is a tough job. I really do, which is why I became a comedian. And even though cop is a tough job, you took it, guys. You get paid. Protect and serve, not pepper spray and stomp. We need police reform in this country, and we need a federal standard. And how about we stop arming police departments with tanks, Humvees, armored vehicles, and fucking tactical nukes? Cops are hired to write speeding tickets and stop wife-beater wearing wife-beaters from beating their wives. Why the hell do you need a rocket launcher and an Abrams tank? I mean, even if the perp is on PCP, you don't need a Predator drone. Bounce his hood off the cop car like the good old days. Not all cops are bad. There are good cops. In fact, I would say good cops are the majority. But officers, if you are a good cop and you don't call out the bad cops, are you really a good cop? Are you? See, here's the problem. Between the police unions and the laws that protect our men in blue, we are pretty much screwed. Because if good cops step forward and turn in the bad cops, then those good cops might get killed because the bad cops they finked on didn't get to the shots fired call fast enough. Oopsie. So until we humiliate, arrest, jail, and shame every corrupt cop, this will continue. You know, I wish cops wouldn't say all black people are bad. Yet in video after video, we see black men being killed by our men in blue. No trial, no due process. Now, I would never say all cops are bad because that would be generalizing. But after giving it a lot of thought, if you are a good police officer, sworn to uphold the law and protect the taxpayers that gave you that job, and you don't call out and turn in the bad cops that do things like, I don't know, kill a man by kneeling on his neck for 8 minutes and 34 seconds, then it doesn't matter how many old ladies you help, how many tickets you write, how many drug dealers you bust. If you see a cop commit a crime and you look the other way, you are actually worse than my ex-wife. Oh, yeah, you heard me. And now I got to go back to family court after that. God damn. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hey, can someone call my attorney? I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And did you vote in the primary election on Tuesday, or did you wait in the line longer than Tom Hanks was on that damn island? It seems that the problem in Georgia was that the campaign manager of the shady-ass Trump-licking Governor Brian Kemp, who was in charge of the election and voting system during his election in 2016, oh, an election he won, yeah, what are the odds that the guy in charge of the voting machines and the way votes were counted won that election? What are the odds? 1. Those are the odds. 1. He wins. Those are the odds. So the guy who runs the election, who won the other election and became governor by winning the election, he also ran Tuesday's election? Okay. Brian Kemp's campaign guy is now a lobbyist for a company that makes voting machines. And the weird part for me is that during America's Got Talent, the votes are dealt with by a separate accounting firm, and no one, not even Simon, has access to the damn voting machines. So politicians are running their own elections now? This just in, we are also letting tigers babysit gazelles. Our country is based on one man or woman, you overwoke meatheads. One man, one vote. And honestly, shady criminal politicians stealing votes and suppressing votes isn't new. I mean, going back to 1863, politicians have passed ID laws, poll taxes, education-based requirements, and of course, there was the 1912 Alabama backflip law where before you could vote, you had to do a standing backflip in front of a poll worker. We remember that day as the Grandma Faceplant Massacre of 1912. On Tuesday in Georgia, lines to simply vote were up to 5 hours long. Oh, but not in the white neighborhoods, just the majority-minority neighborhoods. Do you know why? Because racist, scared white people are really afraid of a majority-minority. And well, Whitey, it's going to happen. And when it does, they are going to remember your dumb cracker ass and how you tried to take their votes. Now, we could go over the ways that politicians have stolen votes, literacy tests. Is that what that says? Literacy tests? I got it? Yes! Literacy tests. Putting polling places miles from city centers so poor people without rights can't get there to vote. Purging voter rolls because your name is kinda like a convicted felon. I mean, I had to re-register here in California because of a serial killer named Christopher Titus. Our Constitution says one man, one vote. Unless the man in charge of the vote says you can't vote. And why? Why do these scumbag politicians need to steal votes? Well, let's be honest. It's because their policies are lame, stupid, and will hurt the poorest people.
I'm Brian Kemp. You've heard about all my guns, my chainsaw, and my truck.
It's why rich people donate to these politicians. So these billion-dollar companies can keep polluting the air and water, cut restrictions on testing drugs and food, write laws that free them from liability when their products kill us. And then they're going to make it legal to kick puppies. Yeah, that's what stealing votes does. It gets innocent puppies kicked. You know, in the Supreme Court led by Justice Roberts, and I'm saying his name, so when we are all lost in an apocalyptic wasteland trying to survive because these racist, craven a-holes addicted to power don't have good enough ideas to win an election, and now we're eating lizards to survive in an endless desert. Chief Justice John Roberts said on the day he gutted the Voting Rights Act, "I'm doing this because our country has changed." And that blanket federal protection wasn't needed to stop discrimination anymore. Basically, he made it legal to stop people voting because he said racism was over. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was so pissed she did 400 burpees just to kill her Baderage. Racism is over? Racism is over. I can't breathe. Racism is over. God, I wish I could ask George Floyd, Tamir Rice, and Philando Castile if racism was over. Look, no matter what it takes, vote. It's your right. And that they are trying to take it is just proof of how priceless that vote is. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. I like the little stickers, too, I think. I voted.